It's true, to get extraordinary results, you gotta put in extraordinary effort. Hi, I'm Angel, by the way. Thanks for stopping by. I hear a lot from a lot of my favorite entrepreneurs, Gary Vaynerchuck being one of the main ones that comes to mind at the moment that I guess I'm responding to. And, he often says that he uses skiing in particular, and he's like, you're not going to be super successful entrepreneur if you're out skiing. And I happen to have frittered away a lot of my first successful business. I say frittered away, that's a funny phrase. Anyway, my first successful online business failed for many reasons, not the least of which was that I became a snowboarding enthusiast about the time that I started making regular good cash flow, and so I dropped the ball on that whole entrepreneurial, 60 to 80 hours work week thing. And the thing is, I don't regret it. I'm working hard these days I say working hard, and that's funny, but I am working hard. I was just working on making an Adobe wall yesterday. It's another thing that brought that to mind. A neighbor of mine was walking by. I mentioned I'm going to the bank, and he mentioned that I must be making money, and it's like, well, I am making money, and more than I was, and that's fantastic, because I'm finally adjusting to the fact that my business is not what it once was. And the point is, once again, though, that I think now Gary Vaynerchuck is a special case because he really enjoys the business side of things, and he's found a way through working with the media to find joy and creativity to keep his creative spark fed and alive, and with a good outlet through social media and being a paid speaker, and I aspire to do some of that as well. And I guess that's my point, is that even though he talks about putting in 30 years of just hard work and never taking any days off, never dating, never having any hobbies, and I appreciate that and I respect that, I don't think that's for everybody, and I don't think that's the only way to be successful. And in fact, I would argue that for most people, that is a trap that isn't successful. It's a money trap. And I don't think Gary Vaynerchuck falls in that exact category, or Tom Bilyeu's, another person who's very super driven, who I love listening to. Both of them are storytellers if you really pay attention, and that's probably what's drawn me and others to them. And that is what I aspire to be, what I think most of us aspire to be on some level. And because I think it's kind of ingrained in us, our I don't know, it's just listening to the alphabet versus the goddess, and so maybe that's the alphabet part, I don't know, but I think actually it's not. I think it's the storytelling, the imagery part, the evoking of emotion in each other, that is what we strive for, to be understood and to understand by way of emotional mirroring, if you will, that comes through storytelling. And so I think all these myriads of ways, from having relationships to running businesses, growing businesses, writing books, writing songs, making videos like this, all of it is taking photos, all of it is storytelling in some fashion, trying to get a story across, some of it more creative and talented and skilled than others, for sure. But my point is just that I think that you can live a life of joy and engagement with other people, and snowboarding, skiing, whatever it is that you want to do, and be a highly successful business person. Now, I think like anything, it's tricky to balance a lot of any other thing and think that you're gonna be the best at something, any other thing, because really it takes again, it takes extraordinary effort to get extraordinary results. And if you want to be the best at business, then you probably need to just mostly be pretty much doing business almost all the time with some. Now again, I say that rest and reprieve, just like building muscle, needs, and being fit needs rest time, recuperation time. I would say the same is true of, like with writing. I've been trying to be more disciplined, and I found myself kind of being less and less productive. So I took a little break. I read some fiction. Now I feel like when I get back to it, I'm going to be super more productive. And I think that's true in lots of ways. And you got to find the rhythm, the right way for you. There's not one way. There's infinite ways, like infinite people, infinite potential beings, ways to be. So I think it's great to take inspiration from others who come before us and who've been successful in ways we want to be successful. And I also think it's really important to be yourself. Do it your way. Find your way. Do what works for you. Find the way that you want to do it. And don't let anybody else's limitations or someone else's story become your limitations. It's my 2 cents. I'd love to know what you think of all that. As always, there's lots of ways to connect to me in the description. And until next time, I wish you peace. Don't forget to play every day.